Like my wife's not a drinker. She's not a smoker. She's not, she just like she'll drink some wine every now and then. Like she'll hang out, but it's not. It was never like a thing where we were on the same pace.
Right. And I don't necessarily need somebody in my life who also smokes. I really just need somebody to tolerate. That's it. Because I don't smoke every day. I don't smoke 24 hours when I do smoke. It's wham, bam, thank you, ma'am.
I would say from my perspective, I think it has to do with it's just something like, like people are checking a resume. If you don't have the qualifications, it's just easy to rule you out. Right. From that standpoint, it's something that easily weeds you out. Oh, he smokes. I don't really want to deal with that. Nah, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, there is the health standpoint, because smoke does, it can create issues with respiratory, lungs, all of that. Like
it says, do you consume THC, which is,
that's different.
A multi-layered statement. However,
that is definitely different. Yeah.
Of course, the connotation automatically goes to smoking, because a lot of people, and that's what I'm saying. I think ultimately it comes down to a lot of people may be okay with it or partake, but like they're not. It's not a lifestyle habit they claim they want to put on paper, right? So they're thinking, well, man, this dude's putting this on paper. He must be really getting down.
Yeah.
But if you look at everything else, and if you were to meet me, then it would have been fine anyway. Like,
I think it's one of those things that it could just be, people look at it as a variable that could contribute to the delinquency of something, like whether it's a relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just it's a negative thing.
The extremists on the left side, those are the dudes who don't have jobs. They stay at their mom's house. They're just terrible in relationships. They are very apathetic. I get that.
Yeah.
But if I'm listing out all these things that you're looking for anyway.
I'm going to reiterate, and I'm going to go back to, here's the problem. It's not that you're saying you consume THC. It's that they see that and they see your age. And like, if you're in your 20s, that's probably the dopest thing to put down. You're going to get all types of swipe lefts. But like when you start getting towards these chicks in their 40s, a lot of them they're like to Khalid's point, like they're about that resume, right? And we all know somebody who lies and say they're proficient in Excel. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to fudge it. So you want to make yourself look best on paper. Ultimately, once you get to somebody, like part of it is getting your foot in the door. Once you get in the interview, then you can kind of wow them. So maybe like you might not, don't feel uncomfortable lying about that. I think you just need to get your foot in the door and then just like, man, this dude's so cool. I don't even care if he does that. You know what I mean? I don't know.
And I'm willing to consider that at this point. I just didn't want to blatantly lie. Like,
just do it. Lied to a little bit, not all like lied to blatant. They don't want to they want to be lied to a little bit, man. You got to get the interview first, man. You can't be, don't let the machine weed you out.
That's interesting that they even put that in there, because I don't know.
No, it's legal in so many states now. It makes sense that to become a qualifier question.
Oh yeah, no, actually, yeah.
It only shows up probably in the states where geolocation knows that.
That is possible, because I did sign up for these apps in both Maryland and California, so.
Yeah. It ain't gonna show that. If you're in Tennessee, you might not see that. If you're in states where it's not legal, you might seriously.
Yeah, no, that's I didn't even think about that.
It wouldn't make sense, dude. That would be incriminating in a way. I mean, like, why would you want to put that on there? So,
it's kind of incriminating anyway right now.
Can be.
Like, it's not, even in states where it is legal, because it's not federally legal. So you might want to just consider just avoiding that until it's face-to-face conversation anyway.
I wouldn't check the box. I mean,
I got your name on the list, bro.
That's just me. I wouldn't check the box.
No, I'm probably not. I'm gonna remove that moving forward.
You do what feels right. I mean, I'm probably not gonna be on the site anyway, though. There's that. Different. To circle back to what we were talking about, the dynamic of dating is different, man, because of those sites and the ability to, qualify people who you're, trying to engage with. It looks totally different now. So I'm not knocking it. Don't misunderstand. I don't think it's a negative thing. Honestly, I think there's some ease that it comes with in terms of qualifying the people, man. I actually kind of like it, but I'm not in that space. So.
I do like it. I just, the attention span in this country, this world says once I lock in on this resume, you've decided what it is.
Yeah.
And you may have or may not have, depending, but you may have missed out on the love of your life.
It is though, man. Like everybody wants the the candidate with all the bells and whistles, right? Like you see job descriptions, right? Like I will say, right? I will say, women tend to have lengthy lists of qualifiers, bro. Like their qualifiers ain't the same as men a lot of times, and that's just my full. I'll say that to anybody. Like
I would agree with you.
They have a long list, and not just women, but a lot of people have a long list of qualifiers. So then, like even you'll come across people like, man, you ain't that cute, but you expect to get this person? Like their qualifiers for looks, their qualifiers for money, their qualifiers for assets, their qualifiers for for the type of person they get, hair length, eye color. Some people take it to the extreme. So of course, they're weeding out a lot of people that are probably better matches for them because a lot of times they're over assessing their own value. Number one, right? Or they're looking for something that, there's like you apply for a job, it's got 20,000 things you're supposed to be able to do. You get the job, you get there, and you don't do none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? None of that shit. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just like, that's essentially like my last two jobs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's funny because I think Khalid is the person who said it's like a resume. It's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. You can get disqualified by the machine or the expectations of the hiring staff. You know what I'm saying? Like they want too much and they don't even know what it is. And then they hire you, got all these skills, and they can't even really keep up with it. They can't keep you entertained, right? They can't keep you occupied because you're so much more qualified than what they need, right? It's ridiculous.
It's been an interesting last few years, though. So, if it happens, great. If not, that's cool too. I'm a worst case scenario kind of person, so I'd rather be single for the rest of my life than to pay child support and alimony for the rest of my life.
Well, and that comes back around to what we talked about earlier. It's like, I'm not saying you should do any of those. You can also
I know, but again, that is the worst case scenario. Like, I'm not gonna be a baby daddy. I'm just not.
Well, you don't have to. I'm just, I agree. You don't ever have to do that. If you're gonna be a baby daddy, be like Nick Cannon. I'm rooting for this dude, man. Look, all I'm saying is 12 babies.
Well, no.
Listen, that's what I'm saying. 6 or 7 baby mamas. I ain't heard one of them complain. Even Mariah, and she's like the number one baby. She ain't complaining either. Just saying.
Man, don't be.
I'm not saying that I couldn't be a single parent. What I mean is just the negative connotation of a baby daddy. So it's not enough that I'm not in a relationship no more. But you ain't gonna have me out here cursing out in public. Here's what's
not every co-parenting situation's a bad one. That's all.
No, it's not. But what I'm saying is when you're dealing with a very particular type of person, they just have this need to be, and to you guys' point about not wanting to have negativity in your life, but they are just negative people, whether you know it or not.
I feel like you need to assess why you're with these particular type of people.
Yeah. I just don't see you going down that road, man. I mean, you're too, I think you're too, now I shouldn't say too old, but you're older and I think you're more in tune with what you actually want and, can qualify people a lot better before you be in a situation where, you're a baby daddy and you're dealing with all the isms.
Of course.
Don't get it twisted. Hood rats are tricky.
Now, if you out there messing with the, hey.
But see, they've moved past the hood. They're in Silver Spring, DC.
Hey, man, it's never been about locale, okay? It's never been
exactly
at all. That's the mistake.
It ain't never been about locale. Trifling is trifling.
Man.
It don't matter on location.
That's true. Trifling's tricky because, I was telling somebody, like it's really interesting because like people sometimes like, you can fake tired and lazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're kind of interchangeable. Like trifling can look like a lot of things, man. Like people who are slippery, they know how to make that, you know. I'm so tired. No, you just lazy. Like you don't really ever,
Right.
you're always tired.
You ain't even done nothing today.
Being honest.
Yeah. Nah, I think you'll be all right though, man. You'll be all right. You don't I can't see you being in a position you know, at this stage of the game, the age that you are, man, where you would fall into a situation dealing with, you know, some kind of hood rat or trifling person, man. I think you know yourself too well, and I think it sounds like you know what you want. You know what I'm saying? So if that were to happen, man, like wow, you got conned, grand hustle, all of it.
Of course. But I mean, when I'm not saying I would ever entertain that in a relationship, but what it does is when I get rid of the disqualifiers, any given, like if you just took any given random 100 women, it drops that number like almost immediately down to less than 10.
Hey man, don't ever expect more than a 2% return, bro. It's not going, you know.
That's
it's unrealistic.
Well, when you let everybody else say, they'll say there's thousands of women. You know, you should be able to find somebody. But then I look at my requisites and I'm like, okay, you know, no, they ain't here. Like, believe me.
Those people are wrong because there's millions of women, but there's not that many that you're gonna see very often or be able to match your schedule with. Like you really have the same interests, you have the same things in mind, same ambition. Like, you know, so you know, it's just once again, you got to get past the machine first and just get to the in-person interview because, like, once again, people just weeding out off of expectation.
Right.
Like on paper, I was not that qualified. I'm sure my wife could have, you know, easily found somebody else on paper. Fortunately for me, we wasn't into online dating.
Correct. Same.
You know,
my wife definitely could have done better.
Be sure to visit FlyDialogue.com to find out more about us, including our radio station where we stream hip-hop 24/7. Yo, we're literally jamming as we speak. We got a craft beer blog called Cream. Craft rules everything around me. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, the craft beer app called Untapped, or on YouTube. Just search Fly Dialogue on all these platforms. Be sure to follow us and friend us, subscribe to us. Long story short, check us out. We'd love to have y'all and we look forward to connecting with you. And let's talk soon.